Hey everybody, are you ready to slather on the blather? From Studio 40, it's the Debaters! Welcome to the Debaters. It's the show where our red team and blue team argue with fact and funny, and you, the live studio audience, must pick a winner. All right, debaters, let's get to it. Our topic today revolves around sexual education. Whereas smartphone technology and sexting in particular are becoming so commonplace that parents and officials can't keep up, be it resolved that sexual education needs to be taught early in a child's development to prepare them for the future. All right, red team, you're arguing for this. You have 90 seconds starting now. Well, finally, the Ontario government is sending a clear message that we need sex ed reform. It is just as important to teach our kids the long-term dangers of sexting a temporary love connection as it is to teach them how to prevent a sexually transmitted infection. Talking about sex is the only way to normalize sex. And by the way, sex is normal. This new curriculum talks about everything from vaginal sex to anal sex to the pleasures of masturbation. In grade one, the words penis, vagina, testicles, and vulva are introduced, so children know their body parts have specific names and there's nothing scary or shameful about it. The curriculum is inclusive of all sexual orientations, and that will hopefully, at the very least, open dialogue and promote tolerance.
Concerned parent and author Susan Patton.
If it's that awkward for parents to talk to their children about sexual behavior, then you have to find a website, sit your child in front of it and say, look, Google it, look it up online.
Don't you think what you're describing right now is terrible parenting?
Yes, just Google the word sex. What could possibly go wrong? The technical climate is moving so fast, we need to get with the program. We need to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly, because just talking about preventing STIs and pregnancies is no longer enough. Your kid's private sexting life could become their very public one. Thank you. Now to argue that early childhood sex education is for the birds, here's 90 seconds for the blue team. When I was in grade 4, I asked my mother what a hoa was. She said, "Where did I hear that?" I read her a sentence from the book I was reading. Caroline breezed past the bailiff into the courtroom smelling like a hoa house. She goes, "How is it spelled?" I said, H-O-A-H. She goes, "Well, I don't know, look it up." Needless to say, hoa was not in the dictionary. My wise mother knew I didn't need that type of information just yet, but this new sex ed curriculum that's going in Ontario, teaching homosexuality in grade 3, vaginal lubrication and masturbation in grade 6, and in grade 7, 13 years old, anal intercourse and oral sex. Anal intercourse and oral sex at 13 years old, really? Why can't they just learn it like the rest of us did? Watching porn. Even the government officials proposing this change look like they're trying to keep the gag reflex in check. But let's talk about the most important aspect of all of this, the young, innocent children. Look what we're doing to these kids, well before they're ready.
See this pocket?
Yep.
Okay. The pocket is the vagina. Okay? And in order to have a child, Daddy has to put his penis in the pocket. Do you understand?
Well, that was traumatizing. What I'm trying to say is let nature take its course. I figured out what hoa meant, and these kids are gonna figure out the birds and the bees all on their own. Thank you. Thank you, debaters. Two very strong arguments. Now it's time for the firing line. I have in front of me a question about sex education brought to you by the Journal of Pediatric Child Health. Get ready, here's your question. When answering a questionnaire based on the learning outcomes of the sex education program currently taught in Ontario schools, 78% of the high school students erroneously believe what? That a banana is an excellent stand-in for a penis when learning how to apply a condom? No, but I'll give you 2 points for trying. The actual answer is 78% of high school respondents believe the morning after pill will terminate an existing pregnancy. And that's it for the firing line, but before we let this U of L audience decide the winner, we'll allow our contestants one more opportunity to make their argument in a song. Hit it, Red. Let's talk about sex, babe.